think I'm good. It's been 2 weeks. We shall see. Actually, I should compile my game. Hello, Addo. How are you? Give me 2 seconds. I think I'm here. I think I'm good. I think. I'm not 100%. Doing yes. Yeah, you're doing. I guess that's good. Could be better. Could be less vague. How's gaming? Dude, puzzled. How are you doing today? Playing more Path of Exile 2. I honestly, part of me, I got pretty far in it, but I think I'm going to end up waiting for more content because I really want to do no-handed, like for sure, 100%. But it's like almost impossible to do because there's no like brass knuckles or anything like that yet. So I'm doing existentially. Okay, well, that sounds like part of existing, Addo. So we'll take what we can get there. That's good. I wanted to start with probably some reflection on the update and how it went. But I'll start with showing you what level I've been working on. We'll go from there first. We'll show you where I'm at. So, for context, so it took like 2.5 years, but we finally got an update out for Jump Off the Bridge. Yay. Excited about that. I'm glad that that's finally done. I got to take my proverbial shit here, if you will, with this, which there's no level more fitting than this. Actually, after watching Tyler play through it, I'm super glad that he found it as absolutely funny as I did absolutely making it. Jade said it reminded her of like a South Park joke, this particular level. One thing Tyler did say is that you should be able to talk to the developer, myself here, my stand-in, and I fully agree. So let's add that. Offer some words of wisdom. Post-explosion. I think we should do that. I think that's a good idea. Doing pretty good. Got a raid soon, but I'm itching to get into PoE 2 after it. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Yeah, you've been playing Final Fantasy 14, right? That's interesting that you got your... I'm assuming you're in a clan and you do like consistent raids or something. I know PoE 2 has a pretty interesting clan system that they're working on as well. I was watching some video about some guy that was using like making his own banking software to like move in or out different like essentially to check when somebody was pulling something out of the bank, whether they were requesting it to pull out of the bank, because you can actually set invisible tabs because there's been like hacking problems with the game. I thought that was really fascinating. So he was creating his essentially like shitty banking software because you can export all the data into a CSV file and then tabulate it. Pretty fascinating stuff. But no, that's cool, dude. Glad to hear it. So the level I've been working on, actually I should probably explain it a little bit. So I called it Knife's Edge because I figured, we're going to be riding the edge. We're going to be a little bit edgier from now on. I'm feeling pretty expressive after how after finally getting all that stuff done. So I feel like I'm not going to be shy about whatever I want to do now. And I'm not particularly worried about any of the consequences necessarily of those things because, I think as an artist, you have to be expressive and vulnerable. So anyways, we have the Knife's Edge. The mechanic of this level is that if you jump, you get split in half. I probably got to fix the blood so that it works, but I'm going to have some obstacles on here that prevent you from jumping off this particular thing. And then I also added an even longer, I've completed the sword. Dude, nice. Thank you, Seed. I appreciate it. And then we go all the way to this hill. Yeah, you have a good day too, man. I appreciate you stopping in to say hello. But I have this hilt I'm working on. I'm going to obviously edit it. And I don't know where I'm going to go from there, but we're going to go total expression. That's my goal. So that's that. I started that level. And then obviously we have a lot of other levels and a lot of other bugs. So I guess first things first, I wanted to reflect on how the update went. So, and we're going to talk about the Steam Awards too. You fucking bet we're going to talk about the Steam Awards. I guess you have to jump over the tiny spike and there'll be a very fast piece of leather or something that doesn't kill you for the sword level. I'll keep that in mind. Right now I'm playing with the idea of using slimes that, like, when you jump on them, they split in half and then you bounce or something. But I don't know. I'll consider that. I'll consider your idea. I'm thinking about it. Also, I just noticed you're using the copium thing. That's great. Hopefully you're being productive, Seed. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. But yeah, so it looks like a lot of my friends are going through and getting the update achievements, which is awesome. I love this review from Duppy. Hope you'll make another game. You're a great small indie creator. Awesome. I did get a negative review that was just in Spanish, and it just says, like, the game is unplayable, which, like, I can't tell if it's a joke or not. Yeah, it just says no S Hugable, like not playable. But the reason I can't tell if it's like a joke is because it has 25 hours in the game. So I'm like, okay, are you making a joke because you got 25 hours of content out of it and you're leaving it a negative review because it's like hard? Or like, is my update bad? And there's like bugs that are crashing the game and it's not playable. Like, that doesn't give me any context. So, but I got to fix some bugs. I have them written down and then we'll go from there. But I was like, why is there a 25-hour review that just says not playable in Spanish? Makes no sense. That does not help me at all. So anyways, and then as for the update itself, it looked like it got some traction too. We got 21 likes and, 3 comments. Some of those are mine. And then my hotfix, people noticed the hotfix too, at least 4. I know that obviously the stuff with all the images shows up in the library, more prioritization, but I wanted people to see this. Now, the reason I care about this sort of thing is because I can actually do like a different language version for this, like in all languages. I only did English and Chinese, so I was curious to see what the reception would be based on that. So it looks like we did get some traction, so that's good. I can't get past the Twitch level. The Twitch level is very hard. I actually was trying to test it because I told Tyler, my buddy who is playing it, that I'm pretty sure you can beat this level without getting any power-ups. But it's actually pretty challenging because each of the messages are a random time. It's like a small range. But you can just get completely unlucky playing this level. Or just completely really lucky and like they'll go slow. Like you can see right now they're going kind of slow for me. Like, but that one obviously, I don't know. It's a very challenging level. I'm not sure I'm gonna like edit it at all. I'm gonna leave it as is for now. The only thing I'm considering is adding music to it because I think that would make it better. But I don't know. Maybe I'll play with the time a little bit, or I could add a couple lines at the end to make it just slightly easier for the player. Because I did notice it's pretty difficult. But as a level, I think it's interesting. Yeah, elevator music. Something bumping. Because the Time Wizard has some pretty good, just like quick, jumpy music. I made a small loop for that. And I feel this one needs like a small bumping loop as well. There's not really anything you have to like know the sound for, realistically, other than maybe him spitting. But the ball is such a defined color compared to everything else. The blue really stands out against the background. So it's pretty easy to see. The most difficult part is this end part because you can't necessarily time like when this is going to happen. Oh, see, I was so fucking close. So that's pretty close to beating it without. I was a little slow there on the end. I probably should have just committed to a jump. But it depends on how fast that bottom scrolls for the last part. So that's an example of almost beating it with that. Then we're also going to work on the level editor too. We can talk about some of that stuff later. But yeah, update reception seems good. I'm glad people can see that I had a giant update on the page. I have to update the page. I just noticed it now, but I have this old early access stuff, which, you know what? So I wrote that in 2019, and it took me 5 years, but we finally have a level editor started. Okay, we're we're cooking over here. You better watch out. And it also says the game has 35 levels of increasing difficulty. But we're at quite a bit more. Quite a bit more. And then I have like another 60 that are like half started in varying degrees. So we're going to work on finishing some of those up, I think, as time goes on. Check discard. You got it, buddy. What are you doing? I don't see anything. Oh, here. I didn't see it. Oh, dude. Ice cream Addo? Bruh. Oh, dude, I can hear myself in the background. Dude, that's an awesome minigame. Nice. Dude, even better. Dude, super cool. Love to see it. Nah, man, came back after years. Yeah, dude, how you doing, Neum? How's your day going? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, dude, I took my 2 weeks. I was like debating. I'm like, what do I want to do? Now that it took me 2.5 years to do an update, what's my next goal? What should I prioritize? Which I'll define some of that in the stream today. I'm thinking next I'm gonna do just another update. Let's see if we can do another one this month. But we'll add some parameters around that to make it more fun. Dude, Cursor Addo, that's a good idea. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for the full release of Find the Addo. It'll be awesome. But yeah, dude, it took me a long time. But yeah, after 2 weeks, yeah, right after I did the update, I did my hotfix like on Christmas. I think that's what the date is for the hotfix as well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I came over here. I drove here on Christmas. Yeah, I fixed the bugs because I was annoyed with the save data not working properly. I thought it would, but I had to fix it. And then there's some other. Oh, speaking of which, there's a bug on. I gotta fix the burden of living falling left. See, last name shoot because it just didn't work out. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, whatever. Your addos look great. So, and besides, I think we all needed a break after all that game dev grinding. I saw that Fuzzy took a little bit of a game dev break, but seeing his stuff as he's coming back to it is awesome. I love the little mini games he's making. Yeah, I gotta fix that house falling left. But yeah, so I was talking about after 2 weeks of after doing the update on Christmas. I did the hot fix. I fixed it, and then I like immediately got like, my cousin Drew came, and then we ended up hanging out with Tyler, and then we all got sick from him because he had the plague, so that took me out for like 4 days. And then we decided to paint the office, and then Jade got sick, and so we've been dealing with that as well while painting. So it's been kind of hectic, not gonna lie. And then with all the family stuff too, it's been crazy. We pushed off Christmas as well. I just did Christmas with my family, like yesterday or 2 days ago, and then we're going to do Christmas with Jane's family probably this weekend because of stuff going on there. So, kind of crazy. Those Addo were recommended, so the art wasn't made by me. Okay, interesting. But all the programming was, so that's cool. I'm glad you got like a community-focused Addo thing going on here. I find it really interesting. I was looking at indie games to try to find something more novel. Actually, this is a good transition into a topic. So let's talk about the Steam Game Awards, because I have some opinions about the Steam Game Awards. Okay, I don't know if you guys were looking at this shit. Okay, so my understanding of the Steam Game Awards is a community thing. It's voted on, voted during the Steam Winter Sale, and that's what determines and I don't think it's sales. Yeah, making the find the games. Yeah, I noticed there's even more like I Spy type games. Like essentially all it is I Spy. I know it's called Find the, but I Spy did it first for me. But yeah, so we have the Steam Game Awards. Cool, great idea. Let people democratically vote on different categories. Problem is the general public doesn't know, doesn't have a standard for with which to vote on these particular things. So, game of the year, I haven't played Black Myth Wukong. I like Journey to the West, obviously. I read all 3 books of it in English. It's great. I'm sure the game is good. I can't really speak of this. I think this is, in general, just should be based off sales, game of the year, the most bought game or something. I don't know. VR game, I don't care about that. The things I'm concerned with are the labor of love and the most innovative game, okay? I don't think I really care about the rest of these awards. It's just mainly those two is what I want to talk about. Yeah, the general public doesn't know about jumping off bridges. They don't. So let's start with this one here, Labor of Love. So Elden Ring, it's a good game. It's a great game even. It's very well made. But do I think it constitutes the Labor of Love award? I mean, all they did was release one DLC. That's not what I would consider labor of love. I know they're doing like updates and like they're hot fixing things, but I just really I don't think that I would consider this a labor of love. It doesn't speak to me as like a one person's like unified vision. Like I honestly, can I see finalists for this? Dota 2? What the fuck? I think something like No Man's Sky fits the bill as like a game that has had such an incredible redemption arc, or Stardew Valley for sure. Like just consistent content updates for free for both of these games based on like, trying to work and like make a better game for their community. Baldur's Gate, I don't think it has anything like that. Elden Ring, like you had to pay for the DLC. It was like $40. If it was for free and they just released it, I would be like, yeah, labor of love. Like, they're not expecting any money. They're just doing this because they love the game and they've got a lot of love for the initial game releasing. Like, that would have been fine. But anything even competing, I don't know. This is stupid. I find this one really dumb. And the thing I was particularly angry about is Most Innovative Gameplay Award. What the fuck? Liar's Bar, bro? Okay, like, I was trying to do some research on this because this is the dumbest thing to me ever. Like, first off, all Liar's Bar is like it's essentially just cheat the card game on a diminished scale, also known as bullshit, which is when I played it in middle school. That's exactly what the game was. It's been around for like probably a couple hundred years, as long as a deck has existed. And then they add Russian roulette on top of that, essentially. Like every turn you have to Russian roulette or whatever. It's like, that isn't what I consider innovation at all. Like, I know this is a democratic vote, obviously, but this is the least innovative game I could possibly think of to even show up in this thing. Like, they're taking cheat, they're diminishing the game down to like a 20 card pool, and then they're adding Russian roulette on top of it, and then you have furry avatars. Like, it just... Why? Why did this game win? I don't understand. It's so stupid. Crazy, dude. It is absolutely crazy to me. None of these games... I mean, this, I would argue, is at least somewhat innovative. I mean, Jesus Christ. We're moving at least a little bit towards, like, adding roguelikes to something quite compelling and interesting. I haven't played it myself, but... Jesus, dude. For Liar's Bar to win? Like, what the fuck are we looking at here? This game is not the most innovative, but it actually made me think about innovation quite considerably, because I was like, well, philosophically, what do I define as innovation then? Like, if I don't think this game is innovative, is innovation just subjective? I don't think that's necessarily true, because looking at Liar's Bar, I knew about cheat, I knew about the game bullshit, so that card game isn't unfamiliar to me. So just taking that and slapping, a couple other online mechanics onto it isn't what I would consider an innovative game. But it also doesn't necessarily like push the medium in any particular way, which I would define as innovation. Like, you have a game like Baba Is You, and that is a game that like gives players the ability to essentially program the game and change the rules of the game, interacting with it in a completely unique and different game, like a different way. Like, that's a really creative and interesting, innovative mechanic. That's what I would consider innovative. Or even, I know a lot of people talk about that, I can never remember the name of it. That game that's really famous for going back in time. I mean, hell, even some of the, like, movement mechanics in like Celeste are innovative, or Undertale, your ability to add morality to the fact that you're like fighting all of these monsters. Like that's an innovative concept that changes how people interact with the medium in a unique and interesting way. For me, innovation is just something new that has never been done before. Oh yeah, Bob, is you. I got that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it has to be something that has never been done before. I just think it has to be something that improves the medium of games and ludology, like as a whole. Like, this is a compelling concept. I have seen things similar to this in varying forms, but not as well executed as this. So it's interesting to me because I don't honestly, I can't think of anything that I consider innovative about Lyra's Bar. And I know that like the general public is just basing their choices off of what they think is fun and not necessarily like thinking about innovation in the context of philosophically what is innovation, which makes it all the more frustrating for me because I think there are plenty of games like even Balatro that would have been a much more considerate pick for that particular subject than the popular game, really. I think that's ultimately what the problem is with the democratic vote system, is it's based on popularity and funness and not necessarily relevancy towards the category. Because I don't think it pushes the medium in any interesting way. It just combines some mechanics that have already existed for a long time. It doesn't shake them up in any new particular way. So it's interesting to think about. It made me think about the creative process a little bit more from an external view, looking at some of these awards and seeing like what people enjoy and stuff like that. But most innovative, no. This is the worst pick, hands down, I could ever think of for anything. It's fucking terrible, frankly. So it's amazing. Really, it's impressive. If you needed any more convincing that the democratic vote does not work for anything, then there it is. So yeah, interesting thought. Those are some of my thoughts about the updates. I guess, Phyllis, it made me think about what I consider a labor of love, and then it also made me think about most innovative, like what be innovative as a game would be. And those were interesting topics to ruminate around in my head. I think labor of love is something that somebody has like a clear vision for, something that they express over the course of a long period of time without focus on like the monetary like reward or anything. They're just focused on the passion that they have for the thing that they're making, and they just want to keep working on it, keep like spending their time on it. Because you only have so much time as like a person living in life. And to spend any amount of that on like a particular thing, like I feel Stardew Valley, and I don't necessarily think it has to be one person working on something, but I think that one person working on something is easier to see the creative direction and vision of like the spirit expressing themselves, their heart essentially putting it into their work. That's what I think about when I think of labor of love. And innovation, I think it's something that has to push the medium. It's not necessarily taking things that already exist, and it isn't necessarily things that are completely new or never done before. It's just essentially like moving the medium forward in the way that people interact with the game, the content of the game, the story, the narrative, the mechanics being improved or changed or interesting. Like those are all things that I would consider more innovative. Because, you know, you can put a bunch of shit in a pot and it can still be shit. But it takes a real refinement and genius, hard work, a lot of failing as well to make something actually innovative. So those are some of my thoughts about that. I also, part of making an update for a game is reaping what you sow. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Tyler's reaction to the game because I thought it was super awesome. I was having a lot of fun with it. I think my favorite level is the self-doubt level, him playing it. So I wanted to point that out a little bit. So for context, here's the self-doubt level, right? So in comparison with the rest of the game, this is a level where you automatically, there's only one other level in the game where you automatically start with something in your hand, okay? So from the outset, that is I think it's the wolf bacon level, wherever the hell that is. Yeah, it's right here. Hungry Wolves. This is the only level in the game that you actually begin with something in your hand other than the self-doubt level. And this is obviously a negative thing because if you touch one of the wolves, you die. If you throw it, they all attack you and go for the meat as well. Okay, so it's not a positive thing. generally in the game, you have to pick things up in order to use them, and the things that you pick up using your actions, those are the things that are, useful. If I'm putting something in your hand based on the wolves thing, it's generally not a good thing. So from the outset, that you begin the game with the doubt in your hand, which the player initially isn't going to understand. That maybe that's the metaphor I'm going for here, but that's what I'm trying to do. Dude, Fuzzy, how you doing? Dude, great work on your stuff so far, by the way. I love it. I love seeing it. Just got a new car, bro. Is that with all your the sales from your zombies ate my femboy thing, dude? That's awesome. Yeah, no, seriously, seeing your stuff is super awesome. I enjoy looking at it, so I appreciate you posting it. Lol, no. Dude, come on. It's got to be at least 100 sales by now. But, so the player begins with something in their hand. So there should be like a bit of suspect happening. It's because my car broke down during the snowstorm, dude. That sucks. Hopefully you weren't stranded anywhere for too long. But I'm glad you got a new car. So that you can so you can have your freedom, your lumping. So I imagine most players should be readily suspicious. And if they aren't suspicious, yeah, what's going on with this level? So here, I'm going to, what I want to do is I want to talk about it a little bit because I want to talk about my buddy's reaction to playing the level, and I think it'll be funny. So here, let's start with the level itself. So this level is called Self-Doubt, right? And you begin the game with something in your hand, and then if that already isn't suspicious enough, every time you walk over one of these things, you pick it up automatically. So there should be, generally, from a perceptive player, I would imagine you would suspect that something's going wrong. Okay, and then eventually, as the player plays with the level more and more, and they typically most bosses that have HP, you have to throw something at them to decrease that HP. So if you eventually do get to this guy with something in your hand, and you can throw it at him, hold on, I gotta get good for a second. So the problem is that every time you have one of these, it kills you, basically, which a perceptive player will be aware of. But let's try to toss this at him. Oh, thought I had it there. I was too confident. Okay, let's make sure we don't got anything in our hand. Okay, so you'll see just briefly there, when you toss something at him, he actually heals. And you can keep tossing things at him, and he just heals over and over again, gaining more and more life. So that's counterproductive to initially what throwing something at a boss would typically be. You'd be like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense, because usually when I toss things at them, they would lose life. Not even Cody can imagine me. What does that mean? So I think that's pretty interesting from the outset of, as a player, you're considering, okay, what's the deal here? I'm only healing him. I can't seem to damage him. What's the goal here? Yeah, so what do you do to win? That's a great question, Fuzzy. So the first thing you have to figure out is you have to realize the interactions that are happening based on you holding self-doubt. So by having self-doubt in your hand, you're actually opening yourself up to dying in a different ways. So the first way that you can die is if you're holding self-doubt in your hand and the ball hits you, you die. If you toss something and the ball hits you, it just knocks you back. If you're holding the ball in your hand when one of these X's fly out, they kill you. If you're not holding something, when the X's fly out, they don't kill you. And the final thing you have to recognize is when you're holding the ball in your hand and you walk through the fire, you die. Okay, the only way you can avoid the fire is by standing straight and looking at it, essentially, like self-doubt. The only way you can overcome self-doubt is by facing it, by not reacting to it, by not moving. It's like a very symbolic type level. And the way you beat the level is by acknowledging that all of this is essentially just fake. It's not real. That the self-doubt that you've had all along is just dissipates upon touching it. Because as long as you're walking forward and acknowledging that it exists within you, you can overcome it. It's just a matter of facing the fact that, hey, I have self-doubt, but I also have the courage and I have more important things that I want to get done. And you can simply walk through it. So only Cody can turn me into liquid code. Liquid code. Yes, very artsy. It's a very artistic level. You are my farther. Farther. So that's how you beat the level. It's a pretty simple level, but what I was thinking when I was making it is I was thinking, okay, I wanted to overcome my own self-doubt, so I thought this would be a great way to sort of personify the doubt, to make it like a silly creature sort of thing, and to overcome it. And so I gave it 28 hearts because I'm 28 years old, and I figured that was an egregious number of hearts. I think as a player, you would look at that and go, I don't think the developer thus far would expect me to overcome doing 28 of anything to kill this. Like, that's just unreasonable. Let alone, I mean, it's way too long, especially with how many ways you can die and how easily you can die. That doesn't make sense. If you've played my game up until this point, I have been mean to the player in various ways, but I have not been so impossibly mean as to demand 28 times of anything from them. At most, I've demanded like 5 to 10. Make a boss that spawns a boss every time it takes damage. That's a pretty funny idea. That sounds like it would get horribly hectic fast, but I do like that idea. Here, I'll take a picture of that. It's a good idea. But so I thought this was really funny. So that's kind of like the level. I'm sure you would have different assumptions without any preconceived knowledge based on the player. That's just a natural thing of playing a game. You don't know who's going to interpret what. And they also, through playing the game, they're not necessarily going to see the title of the level, because they're going to go from this level, and then once they play through this level, they're going to immediately fall into the next level. So they wouldn't see the title of the level until they come to this menu, and that's only assuming they're in English. Then that's the only way they would actually be able to read it as well. So I can't assume that they're going to have any archetypical knowledge. The only thing I'm going to understand, or the only thing I'm going to assume that they know, is they're going to have to essentially play with the level to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I have some sound notifications to determine when you're standing, little beeps that denote that you're not actually taking damage. And I have some visual effects as well that when you're standing in the fire that are very subtle, that show the fire dissipating as it touches you, sort of thing. I might even make it green to make it a little bit more overt, to show that you're like succeeding at something, because green's like a pretty good color for that. But post update, this is essentially what it looks like in its current form, without me altering it. This is essentially what I released it as. So make it flash the whole screen. Maybe. No, actually we can't do any epileptic seizure type stuff. That would be terrible, especially for people that have those problems. We don't want to have any deaths at the hand of jump off the bridge. That's not what we're aiming for. So I wanted to show him going through this. So this is pretty interesting to me. So he gets to the level about like an hour into this stream. I think this is his second stream on my game, and it's about probably like 50. Oh, that was a joke. Gotcha. Okay, good joke. That was dude. If I could, I honestly would do more flashing, but I try to avoid it as much as possible. Even somebody commented about the flashing. The only flashing I have in my game, somebody commented on it and told me it was too much, but I don't think it's a lot. It's the where is it? It's the frog level. Yeah, 3D glasses. It's this flashing briefly. And I didn't think that was a ton of flashing, but it still was like too much for people. I miss you, Cody. Dude, I miss you too, Fuzzy. Yeah, it's a little much. I might change it a little bit. But yeah, that flashing was too much. I had somebody come in my chat and they're like, well, the Pokemon show in 1990 had too many flashes, and then we were determining the math of the flashes, I think. He was like, well, it flashed at like 100 hertz. And I was like, okay, well, mine flashes at 50 hertz and it's only like too long. My eyes hurt a little bit. All right, we'll fix it. Maybe I'll do like a less of a flash. One head. But anyways, okay, so Tyler, he's on this level, right? It's an hour in, bro. He's been sitting there like looking at the shit over and over again, right? People are asking me in chat, like, what is the like meaning of the level? I told Tyler to like look at the name of the level, and he's playing through it, right? And I want to show you two clips. One I think is really funny. So here, we'll play it right now. I think you can hear it.
They grilled Frank right now.
So you can see at this point, he doesn't quite know that he needs to get rid of. He's an hour in, and he doesn't know that he needs to get rid of the self-doubt. He's sort of just been throwing hundreds of lives at the boss at this point. And this is where he figures out, like, he sees that he's healing the boss, but he still thinks that he needs to, like, feed the boss to surf it or something, to, like, keep adding to it in order to remove it. Yeah, classic T.
Kill me, and it also killed me. What the fuck? Am I missing with this ball? There can literally be nothing. It literally hit me, and then it did not hit me.
And so he's looking at this boss, and he just keeps throwing lives on it. He keeps picking up the ball. He's not throwing away the ball, and he's like, it's hilarious because he doesn't understand that when he's holding the ball, that's what's actually killing him. I see you drinking in those moments of the real. No, it gets even better, Fuzzy. Dude, it's great. It's so good. So look at, he's healing him here. And he gets so close, dude. He's so close to just touching the boss and it completely dissipating. But his hours of training up until this point force him to not touch the boss because he feels that that'll be an instant death, right? There's that subversion of expectation. Every boss up until this point that you touch has killed you, no matter what it's been. And this is the one where it's got 28 life. It seems egregiously high. But the player, after going through the game so much, having so many deaths, doesn't want to, like, try something new. They have a learned behavior based on what their expectations of the game. Yeah. Super great.
I have healed him 3 times. I just did it again. Sorry. Okay, you just increased the number.
And then I'm teasing him here, and I'm like, if you think harder than 92 IQ, I think you'll get it, because he has an emote that's 92 IQ.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't healed him 10 times. Think harder than 92 IQ? Wait, am I not doing it? Or are you talking about the ball situation?
So you can see after this point, basically he's starting to have a recognition that, like, he's having a little bit of self-doubt. 50 minutes of just face planting this boss over and over. Now I want to skip ahead. So we're skipping ahead to probably, it's like another 20 minutes, like another 30 minutes, right? And this is when he finally has the realization. And this is probably like my favorite thing, is the epiphany of the player recognizing what the level is about. Because I've been saying directly in chat this entire time that people are asking, like, well, what is the level about? I'm like, it's about self-doubt, etc. He, like, makes fun of that concept. Look, he's got like another 100 deaths basically from the last clip that we just saw. He's been fucking throwing lives at this thing, and this is the moment where he has the epiphany of, like, he realizes, holy shit, this is how I beat the boss. Super funny.
You can't not beat this level before bed. What are you guys, the bedtime fairies? Alright, do I actually feed him? I don't understand the squeaking, bro. Like, did I make the dog happy? Feeding self-doubt? Self-doubt is the answer? Everything's fucking self-doubt, dude. You can't say that. So, Cody, now that your game has 1 million sales, just one question that's been rattling my brain. In the self-doubt level, what does the player represent? Well, thank you, Shannon, for asking such an amazing question. I made the level with expression as the 4th time. It's self-doubt. Self-doubt. So the player also represents self-doubt, because the self-doubt came from the player. But you also want to not feed self-doubt. You actually want to mitigate your interaction with it. The self-doubt being the balls, and also the player, and also the boss, and also the name of the level, and also the individual fire particles from self-doubt's breath. Yes, he's also flaming self-doubt. Yes. Yes, I know how rambunctious that sounds. I'm thinking of a different R word. How rambunctious that is. What's the opposite of self-doubt? Other love? Basically, they're crazy how you haven't figured it out. What? You are basically there. Would I feed self-doubt?
And so, okay, so he's had this moment, right? He's gotten super upset. He's like, he thinks all of this is, like, obnoxious. He acknowledges that each of these things represent self-doubt, but it doesn't dawn on him just yet. You can see the moment it clicks for him right here.
I would not feed self-doubt.
As he rationalizes it.
So I should not feed it. Dude. Oh my god,
Holy shit. And it's that moment right there. You can see his gameplay from like an hour of playing this fucking level. Yeah, he starts at like like 106, an hour and like 12, 13 minutes into playing it. His playstyle completely changes. He finally understands what he has to do. Look at him, completely in thought. Not talkative, completely focusing.
What squeaked? I did nothing.
And he's realizing now that in order to face the fire, he has to just stand still. And it slowly dawns on him.
No, stop.
It's just amazing. It's so good. And then I think it takes him, yeah, like literally another like 4 minutes to beat it. And then he's completely done with it. After like an almost 2 hours of struggle. I don't know if I want to skip ahead a little bit here till he figures out the fire.
So you can't hold the doubt while you're in the doubt. Okay.
Oh shit.
That's why you auto pick them up.
There you go. He figures it out.
Okay, you can't move at all. Okay. Nope, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. He's probably figured out the symbolism by now. No, I'm probably the first one to beat this. If we're being frank. I was holding self-doubt. I wouldn't really... So that's why you auto-pick them up.
I can't get right. I'm trying to get like right where he beats it. Maybe here. Alright, we'll just watch it to the end because I think it's a glorious conclusion. Holy shit. Oh man.
I've conceded 3 pomegranates.
That's probably my favorite payoff for a level ever, dude. It was so good. Just watching him struggle for like an hour. Holy shit. It absolutely killed me. Ugh, I love it. So yeah, I thought that was really good seeing him play through that entire level, trying to figure it out, and then us kind of feeding a little bit of the meaning to him. But it's interesting to also see how other players react and figure out, like, okay, this is egregious to demand 28 of anything from me. Why are these things I'm auto-picking up automatically healing the boss? Why is everything killing me, essentially? Like, it's really awesome. So those are some of the moments I live for as a game developer, that immediate payoff of watching somebody go through it. Oh, man. So, yeah, probably one of my favorite things that's come out of the update. I absolutely love that. Glorious. Super glorious. Great reaction from Tyler. Yeah. Smile. Super good, man. So good. But yeah, we're probably gonna have to do some changes. We're gonna I fixed some bugs. What are we gonna do? Where are we going from here? That's actually what I want to answer next. So I raged about the Steam Awards. I think I got a little good rant out of that. We did our update. It took us 2.5 years. Awesome. Let's keep up the pace. I took 2 weeks off from streaming. I'm gonna be more consistently streaming. Yeah, brain explodes. Get a vasectomy. Yeah, I'm slightly sniffly. Unfortunately, I'm still a little bit sick. Maybe I'll make some ginger turmeric tea shortly. But yeah. But yeah, I've been sick. I'm sick from him too. He's infected, guys. Yeah, open mouth. Unfortunately. But I got over the worst of it. So yeah, kill him. That's the only way. We just gotta take him out back. I got a route. Dude, I'm glad you got a route for the streamer level. I expect you to beat it. My buddy actually, I think it's a lot easier to beat the level if you get the time stop power up. It gives you 2 seconds of time frozen. You can like pick up this. I saw him doing some kind of weird thing where he came over here and grabbed it. And you can grab it there. And that gives you 2 seconds of frozen time, and it makes the level like a lot simpler. Oh, okay, that's what you're doing. Got it. Assuming that everything else goes well, the level is pretty easy with the time freeze. You just want to be as right as possible to it. Just unlucky with the blue saliva. Yeah, he does spit a lot, dude. Oh, man, I shouldn't have jumped there, dude. I actually fucking had that. But yes. There's also a way to beat the level in 20 seconds if you're good as well. Just noting that. But yeah, still a little bit sniffly. I also wanted to... Man, do I want to talk about that too? I don't know. We got time, bro. We're 46 minutes in. Also, at the end, I press R, dude. I would rebind R. I had the clock and I was gonna make it. That sounds horrible, but I misclicked in a moment of excitement. Oh man. So yeah, we got a lot of, honestly, dude. There's a lot of things here. So actually, let's define what we're doing for this update. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off track. So we did the sand array bug. I noticed Tyler found a bug for that. I think when I add levels, there's a save data. When it saves deaths, it's having an error and not reading the array. I don't know if I'm going to be able to solve that on stream, but I can take a look at it today. Also, the controls aren't saving. For some reason, a new player that enters the game, if they don't go to the options menu, they're like controls like don't say. It's like weird. I have like an old system. It needs to be rewritten. It's terrible. It needs to have default controls and then go from there. I also want to do the Steam Cloud saving, which I actually think is really easy. I just have to turn it on. I don't even really have to program anything. I want to randomize the lines from Self-Hate and potentially add a few more because I think that would increase the effect. Tyler beat the level really fast, which I'm fine with. I don't mind that at all. He's obviously got 80 hours in the game, probably more, so that makes sense. And I can't base everybody's approach to the game based off of him or my gameplay because obviously I have like thousands of hours in my own game. I almost have 1,000 hours on Steam, but I obviously have a lot more because that only tracked when I had Steam integrated with my game. So I have a shit ton of hours. So I can't. It's honestly, it makes it a little bit more difficult to gauge the difficulty for me versus other people. I would say also I'm probably going to reduce the difficulty of this level of burden thing a little bit because, you know, for me playing it, it's like a lot easier. But when I was watching other people play it, it was really difficult. I think I need to like maybe shore up some of the edges and make this a little bit simpler difficulty-wise. I might increase the jump height a little bit to give players like a little bit more breathing room. And then I might be a little bit more tight on some of those trip boundaries for the hill. And then I also have a bug where like when you die to the left, it doesn't fall correctly. It falls in the wrong direction. It pops to the right incorrectly. Versus when you fall this way, it works better, obviously. I need to figure that out. Actually, it doesn't even look like it slides the right. It looks like it's sliding the wrong way in this direction, too. So, we'll have to figure that out. Okay, that one worked. I don't know why. Okay. So that's got to be fixed. That's in here as well. And then, yeah, I want to do post-talk. Maybe we'll also do the Saren attacking you thing, because we were going to do that before the update. That was in our list here of things we didn't get done. Yeah. And then level previews is the other thing I want to do. So all of the levels in Jump Off the Bridge generally have like a little preview now that shows, you know, what the level is, but I didn't get a chance to do that for any of the new levels, so it stops here. But all these levels need a level preview. Some of those are easier than others, I will say, frankly. Some are easier than others. Some depend on the player, some whatever. It's just a bunch of hard coding that I gotta do for each level. Not a big deal. Actually, this one will probably be the same, frankly, because that's what the level looks like until you walk. Unless I wanted to make it happen, I could. But yeah, I have some thoughts about that. So we gotta do level previews for sure. I think that's it. Yeah. So let's define a little bit of a roadmap here. So this is my like to do of like things I want to get done. It's not imperative that they get done. The only thing that's imperative that gets done is I don't like this crash from the save data. So let's highlight that red. That annoys me. This annoys me as well. The saving data for controls bug. I want the saving data to work properly for controls, and it's annoying that it doesn't work. As for like a high priority item, we're going to make this team's cloud thing saving, because I noticed even when Tyler played, he played on his home computer, and then he brought his laptop to his girlfriend's house, and he already had to rebeat some things again to do that. So I would prefer just to fix that end up. Can you make the Twitch level a little less random? I can look into it. Yeah, I can look into it for sure. Or I can make the end a little bit longer. I think just adding a couple lines to the end might make it more playable. I like the randomness because it is like a Twitch chat, and I think it should be tough, but I'll look at that. Let me write it on my list, actually. Consider... I did notice that a lot of people seem to have beaten it. Actually, I think... So he doesn't look like... He might be struggling at that level, actually, right now. Doopy beat it. I obviously beat it. And then you're working on it. Yeah, I'll probably look at that. Can I see how many people have the achievement somewhere? Does it show the percentage of people that have it? I think it shows on the store page, actually. It doesn't show on their new menu for some reason. Yeah. So this is actually something I use as a metric because I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we have a 0% right now for that, and 0% for that. 0.1 for that. That's interesting. I think it's because it's such an early level. People are passing that one. But it's actually not imperative to do the extra maze to get this. So this is an interesting metric to look at because the first achievement you can possibly get is the MC Escher level. I find it kind of interesting to consider using achievements in order to gauge like how players are struggling with particular things, because I can't possibly watch every player play the game, okay? But I do know that 33%, so if we take 33% of, I don't know, what am I at, like 13,000 sales or something at this point, times 0.333, so about 4,020 people have actually beaten up to this level. So that means they beat the 3 tutorial levels, which are just free, essentially, because this level is just you jump off the bridge. There's no obstacle. This level is you pick up something and throw it. Pretty much no obstacle. This is the first obstacle, where you have to learn how to jump on the buffalo. Relatively simple. And then you go through here. The cornfield isn't in yet. You have to do, obviously, Grandma's Request. You have to do this buffalo level, which all it adds is a bullet on top. Pretty easy. Then we have the cop, which is essentially pretty free. And then we have the infantry. This is the other cop level, which adds a couple elements to it. Then we have the infantry, which is a pretty free level. It's relatively simple. It's just a faster shooting cop and BD. And then you have this level, the Piranha level, which is a little random, but relatively easy if you wait long enough. And then MC Escher. This is the first possible achievement you can get. Every player that beats this level will get this achievement. And then from there, the only other information I have is whether or not a player beats easy mode, which only 13%. I have about 10% of people are beating 1.0 easy mode. And where do you get that achievement? That's after the boomerang. So that is quite a challenging haul, I will say. So you have to go through all these levels and beat the third boomerang. And then after you beat the third boomerang level, that's where you get the beat easy mode achievement. So pretty interesting. Now, these achievements are based off of linear movement. So I expect these numbers to change quite significantly because the game originally was only able to be played linear. Essentially, you could only play the game from left to right. Now, though, in the first level, I give the player a white key. They can technically pick any level they want. They can unlock a level. So if they get stuck on a particular level, they can just, they can use a key and unlock it. So I expect these numbers to increase. That was ultimately my goal. I wanted players that were playing the game, if they got stuck on something, to see more of the game. Because ultimately, I don't think people should be punished for not being able to do something specific. I want to reward the people that are able to achieve something, which is why I have the dancing star for every level you complete. But as far as seeing the game goes, I don't ever want to prevent them from not exploring different aspects of the game. That didn't seem like my game philosophy. So I appreciate that I have this dynamic level system in here now. This ability to skip levels and go ahead. So I expect that if the players do struggle with the boomerang levels, that they can get past it and go forward. And checking out the rest of the stuff. And also, by virtue of just originally a lot of my earlier levels being the earlier stuff in my work, besides the ones I added later, like the MC Escher level and things like that, they're older. They're not as good as some of the new content I'm making, even if it's more challenging. So, dude, good job, Addo. I'm a lot more sniffly than I thought I would be. The suffering. Congratulations, Addo. I'm glad you beat it. So now that you beat it, do you think the difficulty needs to be changed, or was that just like a cope, or what? Let me know. I know you have quite a bit of hours in the game, though, too, so I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's interesting to consider what you can learn from your players based on the pots thing. Or pots thing. I was reading the pots. I was like, oh, you didn't break a pot. I still think it's RNG based. Yeah, it's pretty RNG for sure. I can look at it. I can change it. I can definitely change it. Less RNG, the better, I think, frankly. I would like more skill. So I might actually just make the end bigger. I think making the end bigger and giving players a little bit more breathing room would be better, even if it's only a couple lines. I think that would be useful. I can even hard code one of the lines to have a longer time, just a single line. That might help as well. Oh, dude, tsunami level. Dude, I expect you to have the rest of this game beaten. Yeah, where are you at right now? You have the hard mode dragon. I remember you beating it, right? Let's see where you're at. Where's Addo? Here it is. Can I just look at your achievements? Yeah, I can. You're so close, dude. And the game crashed. Okay, yeah, I'll have to work on that. Can you tell me what the crash is? Is it an array thing for you? Please post a picture on my Discord of that. I think I fixed it, but I'm not sure. Because Tyler had the same problem during his game. I think it's just like it's over an array or something. Bug report me up, buddy. Actually, let's go to that level and see if I can make it crash. That's actually probably a better idea, too. I'm pretty sure it's just an out-of-range array. Crash jumping on the pile of sand. Interesting. Did you take a picture of the bug? think it has something to do with the array thing I fixed. Also, congrats, Fuzzy. I just saw your message about 400 sales. Nice. You'll be able to buy that car outright soon enough. Yeah, dude. Congrats, man. It's awesome. Thank you for the bug report. Let's look at it. Let's look at it together. Yeah, index out of range. Okay, I think I did fix this. I might have to do a hotfix sooner rather than later. Because let me know if that comes up again when you're playing. If it's a lot more frequent than I thought, then I'm going to need to patch that. Because that's obnoxious. Maybe we'll aim for a shorter update cycle for this then. Because I really want people to be able to play the game no problem. But I'm going to be doing these things for sure. This level data thing and the saving data. And then cloud. Actually, let's randomize the self-hate lines while we're at it. Let's do some work. I want to do that. I want them to be random, so let's just go ahead. I got my sword that I'm going to work on at some point. I don't know, maybe today, maybe later. I made a horse. You guys like the horse? You guys a fan? Let me know. Felt like making a unicorn Pegasus of some sort. I think I made something else. Haunts. Dude, that is such a good name. Why didn't I even think of that? Bro, Haunts. I called it the Pegasusicorn because it's a Pegasus and a unicorn and it's sussy looking. But Haunts is so funny. That's really good, dude. I also made an elf girl, too. I was going to show you that. Yeah, Lilela. I was working on that. Kind of looks like a Zelda type chick though, so I might have to change that a little bit. But okay, so we're gonna do. Oh fuck. Okay, that still wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I moved the folder and I was like, yeah, the Pegasusicorn is what I called it. She's single? She might be. We'll see. Hi, Heather. How you doing? I know you've been playing Jump Off the Bridge. How's that going? I was checking to see if you've got any achievements. Yeah, is she single? She might be puzzled. We'll see. Yeah, let's do the self-hate fix. Yeah, also Heather is good. Freaking killed my computer last night. Yeah, what happened, dude? Get some weird bug or something? You gotta send me a bug report. Did anything pop up, or is it just your computer frying? Could be both. Do you remember what level it was on? That would also be useful information. Okay, we got the internal critic. I'm going to make the lines random. Blue screen, and that won't do anything. Your whole computer has a blue screen? You must have really smashed that keyboard, dude. Whatever level you were on. I have no, Jump Off the Bridge doesn't have any claims for computers yet, so I don't think I've heard people breaking their keyboards over my game, but I haven't heard a computer frying from it. It's generally not that intensive, which is pretty funny, actually. All right, what am I even looking at here? We need talk code. I didn't smash it. It's the laptop Tyler's gave me. He gave you a lemon laptop then. So, freaking lemons, what it is. Current talk plus okay, that's what we're changing. So the current talk is going to be it's going to be random, basically, is what we're going to do. I think that's what I want to do. I think that'll fit better. Because the internal critic for me isn't necessarily consistent, it's random. Of course you did. Yeah, dude. Unfortunately. Do you remember what level you were on, Heather? Out of curiosity. He blamed it on you. Yeah, I figured he would. I guess we're just going to do iRandom and then it's gonna be it's on the first one, the first level of the game. You're talking this level? Nah, that's a laptop problem. If you died on that level, I can understand if it was like a level that had like, if it was a new level and it was like broken or something. Hold on, I'm actually getting a call from the realtor. Give me 2 seconds. See if I gotta help him out. How do I mute myself? No, sorry about that. I at around 2, I have to show a potential new tenant, a podcaster tenant, some of the open suites here. So we'll see. It might be exciting to meet that guy. Yeah, my voice. Okay, good. Level 4. This level? The cowboy level? Heather suffered. Heather suffered greatly. Okay. I want to create a podcast. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see how that. I guess he already has a podcast. So we'll see. We will see. He says he wants an open space. I don't know if an office. I don't know. We'll see what he's doing. I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna reserve my judgment. But I gotta do that. I'll probably eat in a little bit. I just wanted to at least come in and do a little bit of a stream, maybe work on something slightly, and then we'll go from there. And obviously, I'm a little bit more sniffly. Yeah, I'll judge for you. I'll give you the details when I get to it. We'll see. I should be getting a text soon for that, and then I got to get the keys ready for all those suites, and then we can show it to him. Sniff, yeah, sniffs. Who are you judging? Oh, so I got a call from the realtor. There's a person that's coming in that wants to see some of the suites, and the realtor's on the other side of town, so he asked if I can show him the suites. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Just give me his number and texting information. I told him around 2, so about an hour from now, I can walk him through some of those suites. But I guess he's like a podcaster or something, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see. But Drew was making fun of it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to judge him yet. I don't know what he's doing. Obviously, it's when you hear somebody that says oh, I'm gonna do podcasting, it's not that I don't know how to describe it. It's whatever. I'll reserve my judgment. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. It's not. There's no reason to be mean. It's just you hear somebody that says I'm gonna do podcasting, you're like, I don't know, man. Yeah, do it. Yippee, sand level done. Okay, so you didn't get a crash again. Awesome. Can't wait for my mailman to do a stream too. Exciting stuff. Dude, that'd be really good. Is your mailman gonna do streaming? I hope so. I random hate text. We got to do array length, I think. Array length. No judgments here. We can't judge, chat. He may actually be a successful streamer or a successful podcaster already, and that's why he's getting the business. Okay. Clock level time, dude. That one's a little easy or hard. I don't know if I like that level. I kind of dislike it. I might change it. I might edit that level a little bit. Sniffs. Okay, so this is what array length does. We gotta do -1, don't we? Number of entries in array. Let's do a debug actually. I'll be waiting for my judgment, but I gotta go enjoy stream. Sounds good. Have a great day, Heather. Take it easy. Thank you for coming out as well. Hopefully you're doing well for the new year. My money is not successful, dude. I just got the first text, so we'll see. We'll be there at 2 p.m. Okay. We will see him at 2 p.m. So I'll probably end the stream in a little bit and get those keys ready for him and go eat. But let's at least get this done, and then we'll look at going forward what I want to do. And then I'll stream tomorrow, and we'll probably do longer. What are we at now? Probably like an hour? Yeah, just a little over an hour. Okay, might be a short stream today. That's fine. We shall see. Okay, so I want to test the array length to make sure that I have the right thing. I have a feeling that it's going to get the number... Because if the array is 15, it's actually 16, isn't it? Yeah, it's 16 things. And we're doing I random to the array length. We probably want it -1, right? But then why does their example code not do that? I equals 0 if I is less... Oh, it's because it's less than array length. Dude, my house is surfing. Yeah, if you break it left, it surfs. I fixed that part, but I haven't fixed the rest of it yet. I gotta fix the rest of the house. Yeah, it surfs when you go left. I think it has to be -1. I think that's what it has to be. We'll try that. Array length -1. Actually, I want to see it here. And this is I random 15. Which means, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I guess I could just do I random 15, but that doesn't account for me adding more stuff. So let's use this array length I random. Does Satan Landlord do anything? No, he just drops debt. That's it. He does not do anything. Random. Oh, did I not get the I? Want it to be an integer. Hey, text random. Current talk. Current talk equals I random. We actually don't need this. Okay, let's run this. I would prefer it being random, but it'll always start with 0. And then after that, it'll be random. I think I'm fine with that. Dude, you know what would be a bad idea if you could make money and the money gates in the level editor, but the money persists? If you could make money and money gates in the level editor, but the money persists. I was thinking of making money in the level editor being like level specific. I was thinking of doing money gates, like you have to earn like $100 to like pass a level or something, but that it only exists for that particular level. So you could do like coin-based doors or something like that. It make you lose millions of money and you can no longer do any other level. That could be funny. Devious, but funny. Funny suggestion. Devious, but funny. If I need any ideas that punish the player, I'm coming to you, Addo. And yeah, we also want to do level editor stuff for the update as well. But let's check if this works, and then we'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to do next, and then we're going to go from there. So where do you think you're going? What the hell is this? I don't need that. Okay, and then it stops again, and then so test is equal to 15 now. Okay. Good. And then now we go random again, right? Oh, it's because I'm not doing a random. This one's random. Yeah, okay. Good. It works. Perfect. Nice. Alright, I don't need this line anymore. Current talk equals iRandom. Minimizing self-hate text. Good. Make precision part with the control switch to random key every 5 seconds. Dude, you're all about these terrible punishing ideas. Switch to a random key? That level sounds impossible. I don't even know if a player could succeed in that. I might have to make a drunk power-up for you, though, so that when you get it, it does exactly this. Just for your sick pleasure of making custom levels. Okay, so that's at least one thing done. We got one thing done on stream. Honestly, part of the battle is just showing up and doing one thing, even if it's just one thing. So let's do that. Done. Nice. Sweet. And then I can do the rest of the stuff later, but I'm going to eat. So wait, let's decide. Let's define what our goal is for this month. Make a level which just gives you malware. That's a great idea, Addo. Why didn't I think of that? January 25 goal. Let's set a goal for ourselves. We will totally not get banned. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea. Funny, but terrible idea. Don't want to get knocked off the Steam page. I worked for Cody. He's a fraud. What is my goal? I kind of want to... So after completing some levels, what did I notice in reflection? I noticed that some of those levels need more padding between them. That was one of the... That was one of the things I noticed. I noticed that there's a lot of levels that demand a lot from the player, like clicking and precision-wise, but there's not enough, like, just jokey padding levels. So I guess I'm going to prioritize on... one of my priorities for this month is just fun or simple levels that don't demand too much from the player. I noticed that one of the levels that I was really enjoying seeing the reaction to was the artist block level, and Tyler playing that. And I really noticed how much like laughter he got out of that hilarious concept. So I do want to prioritize some more fun, simple levels. After the player getting through a bunch of these difficult levels, I think that the pacing needs to be a little bit different. A level where there be gaps that are just small enough you can't fit through them. Interesting idea. I actually kind of have an idea similar to that that I might play with. But so I definitely want to prioritize that. I also want to prioritize experimental and chaotic ideas. No holds barred. any weird ideas I have, weird, zany, strange, I want to try those. This update, I want to be more experimental. I think the overarching goal should be to do a content update at the end of the month. So when is the end of the month? So 31st. Content update, January 31st. I really want to just get in a swing of releasing whatever I have, regardless of if it's broken, every single month. Just showing people I'm working on the game. I'm going to do a hot fix because I don't like that sand level is breaking after I do a couple other these things. Maybe we'll see how much I can get done today. But I want to do a hot fix soon. Maybe we'll do a immediate goal, small hot fix, fixing sand level bug, plus other stuff. I think that would be good. A level which is just a long hallway with a platform, a random color, and each color will do something else. Very interesting level ideas. I will keep that in mind. I'll take a picture of this too. I have plenty of ideas though as well, so. Okay, so I want to prioritize fun, more simple levels that don't demand too much from the player and break up the more difficult content. Experimental, chaotic ideas, no holds barred, weird, zany, strange. Yeah. I essentially want to embrace the chaos a bit and make whatever I think is interesting. We'll have to exercise a bit of the discipline to actually finish this stuff, but if I have a weird idea, I'm going to do it. And we're just going to try. Because I think that's the most interesting thing anyways. So my immediate goal is to... Let's break this up here. Okay, the overarching goal is to do a content update on January 31st. I think that'll be a good idea. I got time. We're not going to have any expectations. So... No expectations. No minimum. If I can spell simply. Simply just do what you can and release it. That's my goal. And then also show up and stream almost every day. No minimum time for streaming. Just to get into the process of, I don't know if I'm going to do the full 4 hours. I'm just going to have fun with it, I think. After doing my update, I think that's what worked the best, was simply just having fun with it. So, overarching goal, no expectations, no minimum, just do what I can, release it. Actually, do what I want and release it. That's better. That sounds more agent than what I had before, which sounds like the byproduct of something. I would rather express more agency. I would just do what I want to do and release it. Try to show up and stream almost every day. I'm going to put in parentheses, have fun, because I think that's a big part of the process. Doing things that are having fun. Sorry, I didn't think you're... Make a level where a ducky wants a birthday party for you, but you have to prevent him from doing that, because if he does, then he'll block you from jumping off the bridge. Soaply. Interesting ideas. Interesting. Try to show up and stream every day. No minimum for streaming. And then maybe we'll do... Oop. Not what I wanted. What now? So reflection on updates done. Yeah, that's what I'm considering right now. I want to make my next update, and I just want to have fun with Jump Off the Bridge, basically. I feel like I finally broke the curse of actually releasing something. That was a big problem for me. I had all that artist block and perfectionism creeping in and having to deal with that. But now that I've been able to face it, and I kind of have some new things in reflection to approach, I think I just want to enter into a phase where I'm being more experimental and I'm taking risks, sort of things. or the bridge jumps on you. These are all great ideas, Ado. You got some interesting stuff today. So yeah, I want to have fun, and also let's emphasize taking risk as well. Creatively. Because obviously with games there are standards, but if there's anything I'd like to do is I'd like to express something interesting, and I'm not going to shy away from it. I think that would be more important to do. So small hotfix is going to be my immediate thing. Overarching goal is going to be to release a new update, and then also I want to do a maybe under current goal is work towards releasing things for YouTube, because I got to do my hiking video, I got to do my music, and then I also got to do gameplay update, and then I also got to do a trailer. Just some fun things I can do. I have a bunch of other YouTube ideas as well, but I want to work towards releasing things on YouTube. And go from there. So that's in the background is what I want to do for that. But I'm going to prioritize just having fun with creating stuff for Jump Off the Bridge. Spikes are grass blades. You're getting too many ideas. That's funny. Yeah, actually, when I look at all the stuff that I have for Jump Off the Bridge, I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, there's just too many ideas. It's too easy to come up with ideas for this. So, okay, I think that's pretty good. In reflection from the update, I really enjoyed seeing the response to the update. I enjoyed seeing people play it. And I didn't honestly, as far as the game goes, I am just happy I was able to release something. And that's honestly what makes me feel fulfilled. With regards to anything, is just being able to create stuff and release stuff. So that's what I want to prioritize on. It doesn't really matter what the overall reception of it is. Obviously, if something's broken, I want to fix it. But my goal ultimately is just to express my creativity more. So, yep, immediate goal. Let's can we highlight that? The Gravity Wizard. There's so many wizard ideas. I was thinking of more of a fantasy theme going forward with some of the stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll see what I want to do. Let's do the immediate goal. Highlight that. And then we'll make this blue for the overarching goal. And the undercurrent goal is going to be purple. Okay. And then for the update, I want to prioritize fun. And then prioritize experimental. The wizard. That's also a good one, too. So let's increase experimental. Actually, experimental should be purple, I think. Oh. Okay, and then fun for me is orange. And then simple is green. Oh, wait, you're the wizard. Also, there's a lot of interesting things here. Don't demand too much from the player. I think that's what I want to highlight there. And for chaotic ideas, we can do this. Let's do no holds barred. And we can do zany, I want to emphasize. And then let's do embrace chaos. Okay. Good. I think that's what I want to do. So organizing thoughts before next update, honestly. Thoughts before next update. Electric Boogaloo. Hello, Thomas. You're catching me at the end of my stream. How you doing? How's life going for you? I was just reflecting a bit in this stream about what we've accomplished and what I was able to get done, and then what I want to do next. We're going to fix the sand level bug, which we've got done. That's my immediate goal. And then we're going to work on another content update for the end of the month. So January 31st. I should probably highlight that too. January 31st. Okay. And then have fun taking risk creatively. That's what I want to do. And then I can make the stream thing purple as well. You ever think about recording guitar to put in your game? Yeah, actually, I do have some of my guitar in my game already. A lot of the songs I have written for the next album are actually going to be parts of the game. I have specific levels for them, so yeah, you'll be seeing some more of that as well soon. Quite busy in school. That sounds terrible, but I guess it's good you're keeping busy. Good to hear. Is it difficult? Is it hard? Or is it just easy stuff? You're just busy, basically? Also, let's highlight no minimum time for streaming. The only minimum, my goal is to just show up. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. After doing the update, dude, it feels like a weight off my chest to finally get this out. I'm glad everybody's been having a bunch of fun with it. I see a lot of my friends are getting all the achievements for it. I got some bugs to fix. I'm feeling pretty good. We painted the office yellow. I absolutely love it. I posted a picture in the Discord. The yellow is so good. It is such a great color. I still feel like I'm getting over a little bit of a sickness. I'm still sniffling a bit. I'm sniffling more today than I thought I would on stream, but I think it's just because I'm talking a lot. And I haven't been talking a lot lately, so I'll have to get used to that again. But otherwise, pretty good. I'm just ready to start grinding again. I took my 2 weeks off from doing stuff. I did stream that one time with Tyler when we were playing Rogue Legacy together when Drew was here, so that was pretty cool. But overall, pretty chill. It's just a matter of deciding what I want to do next and going for it. So yeah, that's it. Oh, I didn't get that D highlighted. This is what I want. No holds. Is there? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. No holds barred. There we go. I think I can turn off the okay. Weird. Source mode? Yeah, I can see it in source mode. That's what it is. Okay. Okay, now, there's like 3 different modes. There's a reading mode, there's a source mode, and there's an editing mode. Okay, somehow we lost the 3rd mode. I don't know how. Alright, whatever. This is fine. Click to edit. Okay. Oh, there we go. This is edit mode without source viewing. Got it. Okay. Confusing, but whatever. So we have 3 variations of this. But yeah, pretty good. Okay, so that's basically what I'm going to focus on. Then we got some to-do stuff. The only priorities are the red ones, and then everything else is just extra if I feel like getting it done. If I want to tackle a couple tasks, then we're going to go from there. So that'll be it. I'm going to go get ready to show this guy the sweets, because I got to do that today. And then I'm just going to get back to programming a little bit. So thank you, everyone who came out today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, have a great day, Fuzzy. I love seeing your updates. Keep at it. But yeah, that's it. I'll be streaming every day, probably even weekends. So we'll be going from there. And then we're just going to work. And then whatever I get done by the 31st, that's what I'm dropping. I'll be doing a hot fix sometime soon, maybe in a couple days here, to fix that bug with the sand level, because that's kind of annoying. I don't want the game to crash. Minimally, actually, is what I'm aiming for crashes, because that's obnoxious. Then we'll just go from there. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for any of the support. And we're just going to keep it on. That's basically my goal. So have a good rest of your day. And happy 2025. We made it. And take it easy, guys.